With a solid foundation on testing and a handful of tests under our belt, this section is going to focus on adding a test runner called Karma to our process and to get some experience running tests with Karma. We'll do that by putting together our recipe collection. In this video, we're going to recap our testing process, point out a simplification we've made, and introduce a test runner called Karma. Let's recap our testing process before we go any further. When approached with a new set of related features, we begin by creating a new test file. We describe a suite and write a test for the first feature. We add the JavaScript file to specrunner.html and open it in a browser to make sure it fails. That is the red phase. Then we implement the new feature and test in the browser to make sure it works. That's the green phase. After that, we'll refactor the code, constantly referring to the browser and making sure our tests aren't broken. That is the refactor phase. This has worked well for us so far, but it's because we've made a simplification. We're assuming that the code only needs to work in one browser. In the real world, we might need to support Chrome, Firefox, Safari, IE 8 through 11, Microsoft Edge, Opera, and their mobile counterparts. Due to browser inconsistencies, it's not enough to just test in a single JavaScript environment. Let's look at our process again, but now instead of testing in one browser, we'll test in 10 of them. Not only is this really time-consuming and painful to do, it also forces us to switch contexts between writing code and running a bunch of tests. This sort of context switching is costly, slows us down, and keeps us from focusing. If this were the only approach I were faced with, I might choose to scrap testing altogether. Luckily, we can automate the headache away with a tool called Karma. Karma is a test runner. For our purposes, this means it will generate our specrunner.html, it'll open it up and run it in a list of browsers we specify, it'll report the results to us, and it will run our tests automatically when certain files change. In our next video, we'll get Karma installed and see how it works.